Alright, what's going on, guys? Dorohedoro, episode 12, final episode of season 1. Hopefully we'll be receiving a second season. But with that said, if you guys could like, share, subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. But with that said, let's get right into the review. This one starts off with Aikawa and Risu. We see them having a conversation with one another. Now we see Aikawa with his mask off. However, it's like a backward side angle of his face, so we really don't get to see who he is, and I'm not really sure we would recognize who he is at this point in the story, although we might. But basically, we find out that Risu's going to the city of Barith. He's looking for the Cross Eyes, and he's trying to get a little more information as to who killed him and what's going on in the story. So that's going on. Now, remember where we left off in episode 11, Nikaido and Kaiman were having a fight with one another. Now, if you remember, Kaiman was trying to take Nikaido away from the sorcerer realm back to the hole, but because Nikaido's got En's contract in her body, she cannot disobey En. She's very much under En's control at this point in the story, and she even mentions in episode 12 that she wants to stay in the sorcerer realm, that she's En's partner. So we got a nice little battle. Oh my gosh, the choreography in this battle is absolutely amazing. Great stuff. I love the part where Nikaido does the Neo pose. You know, she's doing the hand like, come here, come get some. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And the artwork, again, is really great in this episode, especially the part with Chota, in which he is praising Almighty Satan. He's praising Satan because he's giving him an offering so that Nikaido will perish. He's hoping that Nikaido will just get out of the way so he can become En's partner again. And then we see Kaiman burst into the building and a giant devil statue falls right on top of him. Oh God, that looks painful. And then eventually Kaiman falls through this little hole in the floor and he's battered, he's all bloodied. He's trying to get away from Nikaido, he's crawling away. Very soon afterwards, Nikaido jumps through the hole, she's looking for Kaiman. And as Kaiman is like got this massive headache, he's bloodied and battered, he sees a mirror and it looks like Risu. And Risu's like, are you gonna kill again? And Kaiman just blacks out at this point. We have a little bit of a memory from Kaiman. We see some interesting images, a lot of great visuals, very artistic and gritty and shocking. So really nice stuff. This was probably my favorite part of the episode, was just seeing Kaiman's past events all sort of crammed into one sort of vision slash memory. So really nice stuff. And then we see Kaiman inside of a hospital being taken care of by Dr. Vox. And he doesn't really know who he is. So this must have been the part where Kaiman first entered the hole. So he's lost all his memories, and he meets Nikaido for the first time. She brings him some goizas, and she gives Kaiman his name. She's like, hey, you kind of look like a lizard, Kaiman. Why don't we just call you Kaiman? And he likes the idea. Now, interesting little bit of information. Kaimans in real life can go long periods of time without eating food. I thought I heard something like they can go as much as like 12 months without eating any food whatsoever. If I'm wrong about that, you guys can correct me in the comments. I probably am. But that's kind of a nice little bit of irony there, because Kaimans don't eat a lot of food. However, Kaiman in Dorohedoro eats incessantly. He doesn't stop eating. Hayashiada, the mangaka for Dorohedoro, that's a nice little bit of irony there. But anyway, after this little vision, we then have a moment in which Nikaido's looking for Kaiman, and she gets stabbed right in the back. She just gets sliced up, and she's down on the ground. And Chota finds her body. He's like, oh, she's dead! Yay! The Devil King has answered my prayers. But then the Devil Asu shows up. He's like, not so fast. She's not dead, although she is severely hurt. And he sees En's contract sticking out of her, so he pulls it out. Now, Chota's very happy about this. He's exuberant because he's like, hey, if I got En's contract, maybe I could become his partner. But again, Asu's like, not so fast. Just because it's out of her body does not mean that they are not partners anymore. Even if it comes out of her body and En comes into close contact with Nikaido, the contract will be reabsorbed via magic. The only thing that will prevent it from being reabsorbed is if Nikaido goes very far away. So that's when Asu decides to send Nikaido and Kaiman into a different part of the sorcerer realm, as far away from N as humanly possible. And yeah, they're in this abandoned town now. Kaiman's not too happy about the situation because he found out in the battle with Nikaido that she's a sorcerer, and you know, she finally admits it to him, and he's pretty pissed off about it, but they kiss and make up. They do a little pinky friendship thing, and all is good with Kaiman and Nikaido. So they're back on the same team again. Good stuff. And then some other things happen in the episode as well. We see Risu go into the town of Barith. He meets the Cross Eyes organization. This happens in the ending credits of the episode, so we just kind of see a little glimpse of that. And we also see another one of N's fine establishments. It looks like a whorehouse. And it looks like Abisu's working there too. She's trying to get some extra cash. And yeah, I think that's about it for episode 12. Oh yeah, we do see Dr. Kasakabe and the gang talking to Shin and Noi. Shin is telling Dr. Kasakabe to go back to the hole. Kasakabe's like, well, we really can't do that. We need to find our friends. So that's kind of out of the question. And in the ending credits as well, we see them in a van going in the forest. So a lot of mysteries at the end of this episode. It kind of went by a little fast, but I absolutely loved it nonetheless. I mean, the battle between Nikaido and Kaiman was top notch. And, you know, I gotta say, this was kind of a weird way of ending the season. You know, it's ending on a cliffhanger. You know, we see Nikaido and Kaiman in this new area, so we don't know what's gonna happen, and there's still a lot of unanswered questions, but I feel like the way it ended was almost kind of like, it didn't have like a conclusion. It was kind of weird. Dorohedoro, it's kind of just ending in the middle of a story. Like, sometimes you can end at the end of an arc, and it feels like when you start the next season, you know, you're kind of starting fresh again. You could be continuing certain plot points, but kind of have a conclusive episode. Whereas this one, it kind of was like, we're kind of in this intermediary stage right now where it's like kind of a weird stopping point, but it is what it is. If you guys can't wait for season 2, you can always read the manga chapters. And yeah, as a whole, I would say season 1 of Dorohedoro was a success. You know, the animation definitely grew on me by the end. The various fights, the one with Kaiman and Shin during Night of the Living Dead, that was really great stuff. I love the one with Nikaido and Kaiman in this final episode. And when Nikaido was in En's mansion and she was fighting Noi, that was good stuff as well. A lot of great comedic moments, especially from Abisu. And yeah, the scenery in Dorohedoro was really great stuff. Every episode, there was a scene where I was like, geez, this is so picturesque. Like, you could make an artwork canvas out of this. It just looks so fantastic. So yeah, I would say this was a really good anime, guys. In terms of like the winter anime, it was this one and Aizoken, and I think Dorohedoro edges out Aizoken for me. So I really enjoyed this one. I hope we don't have to wait too long for season 2. You know, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the reception is. It feels like most people who are watching it are very much attached to the story and, you know, are very pleased with what's going on. So yeah, I think that should bode well. But anyway, that will be it for Dorohedoro, and I'll see you guys when the new spring anime start popping out. But with that said, I'll catch you on the flip side.